Good? We're good now. Think we're good now. Says we're good now. But I'll wait for you guys in chat to say before I ramble. Good? Good. All right. All right, that was ugly, just like the Rangers win tonight, but still not as ugly as, myself, but still not the greatest. And I do apologize in advance if I do mute a lot or anything, or you hear me sniffling, I sound weird, whatever. Very sick, hence why this live stream is happening earlier, because otherwise I was going to be in attendance. But yeah, woke up with a 102 fever, so that wasn't happening. But we are good now, sort of. But yeah, the Rangers end up winning 3-2 over the Detroit Red Wings. The day after they signed former Ranger Patrick Kane. So everyone thought he was going to play tonight. And everyone was like, yeah, he's going to get a hat trick tonight. Well, he didn't play tonight, so he didn't have to worry about that. But yeah, the Rangers end up getting the win. And there was a lot of things that were not the best about this game, because this is now 5 out of the last 6 games. They gave me a heart attack when they were in the D zone. No big deal. But at least offensively, they were okay, I guess, because how many times are we going to watch this team fan on opportunities? Because there was way too many times they were fanning on opportunities, just like the Buffalo game. Trocheck had a chance in front, missed the net. Kreider, I think, had a wide open cage, missed the net. There was way too much of that going on, but regardless, yeah, we're going to talk about all of this. Before we do, leave a like on the stream if you do enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Ranger fans, and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live on the channel. But let's talk about this one, right? Let's talk about this one. So, couple of notes beforehand. There was a change, obviously, in the lineup. Since Kaapo Kakko got hurt, Johnny Brzezicki slotted into the lineup on that line with Coley and Bonino. So, yeah, that's just great. The third line that already has not been doing great. Great. We got the third line having more problems here, having Johnny Brzezicki slot in. The good news is the fourth line's been playing better. The bad news is the first line had pretty much one good game 5v5 and have not been the same ever since. So, there's a lot of good. There's a lot of bad, like I said. But yeah, that's pretty much the only change in the lineup, really, outside of Adam Fox, of course, returning. So that was great to see Adam Fox come back into the lineup. And for his first game back, not complaining at all with the way that he performed. Could you have maybe got a little bit more from him? Yeah, but it's his first game back. I'm not going to be too worried. He's the last guy I'm worried about on the team. And even then, there was still a lot more good than bad, in my opinion, with Fox's game. And outside of that, changes to the second power play unit. Will Coley pulled off of that, and then Kakko, of course, hurt. He's not on it, so Brzezicki and VC slot in on the second power play unit. Why is that the case? I do not know, but you know what? Fine. Regardless, though, the Rangers open up the game looking very sloppy, honestly. Like, they were allowing Detroit to get a couple of opportunities, but they turned the game around very quickly. The second line had a good shift, drew a penalty as Perron went off for a hooking. They don't score on this power play, but the power play looks so much better with Adam Fox back on it versus what we've seen. Mika tries to set up Kreider on a deflection. That went off the post. Kreider then had a wide open net to bury it on. He didn't. But yeah, power play one, great chances. Then Brzezicki cross-checks his Veleno. Thankfully, they don't call anything. The second unit, though, looked terrible out there. But the Rangers continue to get the offensive zone pressure, but not a lot of chances. Like, they were doing the thing that we've seen them do a lot of the year, and it's the thing that annoyed me, where they would get a lot of shifts in the offensive zone. They just wouldn't get the chances, though. Trouba with a good block on a rush chance. Lafreniere then to Panarin on a rush. He fires wide. Again, Panarin, how many times am I going to talk about, or not Panarin, Lafreniere, how many times am I going to talk about on these post games that he has been robbed of so many assists? Feels like a nightly basis I'm talking about this, but thankfully he ended up getting points tonight. Mata, though, goes off for a hooking penalty. Fox then had some good looks on the power play. Trocheck with 2 in front, late, denied. Power play 2 comes on. They don't do anything. And yeah, that's the end of that. VC then goes off for tripping Rasmussen. The Rangers would kill that power play off very easily. Lindgren with another awful turnover. Thankfully, no shot comes from that. But that was pretty much all she wrote with the first period. And I thought the first period was very good. I felt like they played respectable defensively. You maybe could have asked for a bit better because at the end they looked sloppy. At the beginning they looked sloppy, but in the middle I felt they played pretty good defensively. And again, the thing that I would have liked from them that first period is offensively to generate more chances. Again, they had the zone time. They just weren't getting the shots on goal. They weren't getting the chances. They had how many shots in that period? They had 11. Felt like way less. And they had 4 high danger chances. It felt like way less than that. But compared to what they did later on in the game, definitely is less because they got better as the game went along offensively at the very least. But regardless, second period rolls along. Detroit comes out with some breaks. They come out hot with some breakthroughs in the neutral zone. The neutral zone is way too wide open from the Rangers early on. Igor has to make some saves. He makes a big one on Sprong. But the Rangers would be the ones to score first in the second period as Miller, with a great takeaway in the neutral zone, carries it over, gives it to Lafreniere, over to Panarin, and Panarin roofs it 1-0 game. Thank you for lifting the puck there. And then the second line goes out there, and they absolutely toy with the Detroit Red Wings. And then Panarin takes a roughing penalty, so that ruins that. But then, of course, Trocheck, terrible pass to VC on that 2-on-1, right? And then, of course, Detroit scores. Seider with a wrist shot from the blue line. There was a screen in front. He ends up scoring. And then right afterwards, Detroit would score again. The Rangers couldn't break the puck out at all from their own end. Gustafsson and Schneider were out there on that one. And yeah, the Wings were winning board battles. They were out-competing the Rangers in that play there. And then Fabry ends up burying one to make it 2-1. And again, defensive lapses being an issue. Way too many defensive lapses. And I feel like there's been way too many times this year where the Rangers will score and then they just let their opponent score right after, or they invite pressure, way too much pressure in right after they score a goal. Pitlick has a chance alone, denied. The Rangers did start pressing and getting some chances. Trocheck, knee-on-knee hit on Raymond, then has to fight Compher. I'm not mad that they called the penalty because it was a knee-on-knee. My issue is, where was the penalty when Aho did it to Adam Fox? Where was the penalty then? So, and that knee-on-knee was way less violent, the one with Trocheck and Raymond, than the Fox and Aho one, obviously also because of the injury that caused. But where was the penalty then? I just don't understand the inconsistency. But Igor, he makes a stop on DeBrincat. Kreider denied by Husso. Then the Wings come the other way, and Perron hits the post on an odd man rush. Panarin gets it from Wallman, but nobody gets a good enough chance after that. Panarin then with a backhander denied. Wheeler gets a chance alone, and he cannot hit water if he fell out of a boat. He sucks, but yeah, the second period, not great. They got better offensively at points. I thought offensively they were okay, but way too many lapses in their own end. Way too many, and the inability to break the puck out, a problem. The inability to finish chances, a problem. Get production from their first line at 5v5, a problem. Second periods, kind of a problem, but somehow, some way, the Rangers apparently outplayed them that period. I mean, the high danger chances were 6-3 in favor of the Rangers. Although the third period, I would say they played worse defensively. I'll say that, but yeah, the third period rolls along. Igor has to make a lot of stops in this one. Makes a nice stop on Compher with the glove. Brutal back checking there by Lindgren and Zibanejad there. Coley then with a big hit on Gostisbehere. Kostin then just goes after him. They call boarding and a roughing on that. Kreider got a chance alone, couldn't finish that. Trocheck misses a wide open net on a chance after getting a great pass there by Zibanejad. Fox and Gustafsson there too looked good. But yeah, went back to 5-on-5. Igor has a huge stop on DeBrincat. Then you have the clown show that was Lucas Raymond as they call a 4-minute penalty on Coley for clipping Raymond with a high stick, even though he clearly grabbed Coley's stick, hit himself in the face with it, and thankfully they reviewed it and called no penalty. Should be a penalty on, in my opinion, on Raymond for that, but whatever. It is what it is. At least they don't call anything there. Trocheck sets up Gustafson. He could get a good enough shot off. The Rangers, though, would tie the game at 2. As Zibanejad fumbles the puck, Trouba gets it. Then Zibanejad gets it back. He dances around, parks Andrew Copp on his ass, and then Keandre Miller gets it, and he snipes it in. Went in twice off of Billy Huso as well. But yeah, then again, the Rangers, they allowed way too much the other way. Gustafson out of position. Igor has to make a stop on a 2-on-1 on Raymond. Lafreniere goes off for a holding penalty. Kreider with a chance shorthanded, couldn't get a good shot off. The Rangers will kill that off. And they would make it 3-2 as Trouba with a good breakout to Lafreniere, over to Trocheck, back to Lafreniere on goal, and then VC bats it in, and they review it for a high stick. It ends up staying. I had people on Twitter telling me that it was, because I said, in my opinion, there was no way that was over the bar. There was no way. And people are like, be honest, that was over the bar. His stick was, but you have to remember, it's a matter of where he makes contact with it, not where the stick is. If they were determining it just by the stick position, yes, it would be a high stick. But the puck hit on the lower part of his stick, therefore it was below the crossbar. That made it 3-2. Trocheck goes off for a tripping penalty, because of course, but Jacob Trouba, guy that I've been harsh on, great blocks at the end of the game. Gaudreau had a big block at the end of the game. The Rangers win it. They looked ugly defensively in that period, but they end up getting the win. 5 high danger chances apiece in that third period at even strength. Curious what it was in all situations. The Rangers had 26 in all situations. Detroit had no high danger chances at on their power play. All their high danger chances were at even strike. That's bizarre. But yeah, I'm not thrilled with the defensive effort by any means. I'm glad that they looked good offensively. They do need to start finishing some of their chances. Glad they did, but they need to improve their defensive game. They do. There's way too many lapses. I will say though, if we are going to say a positive, Keandre Miller, a guy that I have been harsh on, very good game from him tonight. Very good game. Outside of the goal, he was a lot better defensively. A lot better. I don't know if it's because he felt he had less pressure or what. With Adam Fox coming back, he looked good. Lafreniere, easily the best forward for the Rangers in this game. He looked good. Got robbed of getting more points than he did. He had 2 on the night. He could have easily had a 4-point night. Not even close. That second line in general looked good. I thought the second line looked good. Outside Trocheck taking way too many penalties. Trouba looked good. The main concern that I have in this game was, outside of Blake Wheeler, I did not like Ryan Lindgren's game yet again, especially considering Adam Fox was coming back to the lineup, and I thought, all right, maybe this will get him going. I did not like Ryan Lindgren's game. Did not like the game from the first line yet again. I feel like they've been poor way too much. Blake Wheeler, it feels like, is dragging it down way too much, though. Blake Wheeler has been... I'm sorry. I don't know what more Chris Drury needs to see to realize that he's not good at the sport. Like, he can't play. He can't play. And anytime he gets an opportunity, he couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. He has way too many chances alone, can never bury them, and he just looks brutal with the puck. So, I don't know. I didn't like his game, but again, I'm not. This was a weird game. I'm not to the moon. I'm not pissed off. But yeah, it kind of is what it is. I'll get to the chat though and see what you guys have to say about this game. I'm not going to go too in depth, and I'm going to run short with this because, like I said, I'm not feeling 100%, and I need to. I mean, I took medicine before this, and I feel worse for whatever reason. I feel more nasally, but yeah, that's fun. I'm assuming this is Mark, but thank you for stopping in. Yes, leave a like and subscribe if you have not already. I would appreciate that. You do want super chat feel free to do that. You don't have to, but it is appreciated when people do super chat. Yeah, they came from behind and did what they needed to. You're not wrong. Anyone else? Think it was complete BS when Kane gave his interview, talked about how injured he really was. Where's my refund? I mean, yeah, we knew he was playing hurt, but so sounds like it was a lot worse than we thought, and it's unfortunate. Yeah, Trocheck had a little bit of bad luck in this game at points. I somewhat agree, Matt. I felt like offensively they were a bit slow the first two periods, but they still I felt in the second period they at least got more chances than they did in that first period. But yeah, they need to clean up the D zone play for sure. I'm not sure if Kane even got an offer from the Rangers, Logan. Not sure. Because it sounded like he wanted to stay, and it just sounds like the Rangers wouldn't budge. So it happens. But I wish him luck in Detroit. I know a lot of Ranger fans don't like him. And I know that people are going to say that it's stupid that I'm saying I wish him luck. But as someone that loved Patrick Kane growing up, and he was one of my favorite players growing up, it was cool to see him play for the Rangers, even if it was for a short stint. Even if he never comes back again, it was cool to see. Sucks that it didn't go the way that he wanted, and sucks that it didn't go the way Ranger fans wanted, where he would be the Patrick Kane in his prime and lead will this team potentially to a Stanley Cup. It's unfortunate that we didn't get that, but I still appreciate his time here. I still did, and it's unfortunate, and I wish him all the best in Detroit. I have no ill will towards Patrick Kane. Like I know a lot of Ranger fans too. That's just me though. And yeah, the Rangers got their way on twice on video reviews. Yeah, Lafreniere looked very good, Luke. I agree. There were times too where he was just like holding the puck for a while on his stick. He looked very confident. Yeah, I agree, Matt. About Fox and then Trouba and Miller. Fox will get back to speed. I'm not worried. Not worried, really. I think the Rangers play. Do they play Detroit one more time? Why do I feel like they do? I could be wrong. Don't they play them one more time this year? Unless they, of course, meet in the playoffs. Or no, they already played them in Detroit, maybe. Oh, that's what you meant by April. They play them in Detroit in April. All right. Well, yeah, I was gonna say I don't remember them playing in Detroit at all. So yeah, unless they meet in the playoffs. I agree. I thought the Rangers outplayed Detroit, but I felt they still played an ugly game. Yeah, Schneider was not good. Schneider has not been good at all this year. Kane will be a UFA this after the season, and there's a slim chance he could sign here in the offseason. Maybe, but I don't know. I'm not gonna worry about next offseason right now. I'm not, but it could happen. It could happen. For all we know, it could happen at the deadline. For all we know, he's back again at the deadline. I don't know. But if he likes it in Detroit, maybe he stays. So I don't know. I'm voice cracking a lot. I feel like garbage. I am all over the place tonight. Oh my god. Whoever made the game in Nashville at 4:30 should be fired. Yeah. That is egregious. But I will say I'm not complaining at all. This is the one time I am not complaining at all with 2 off days for the Rangers in a row. And if anything, I would prefer another off day. Let me feel better so I don't have live streams like this. Ugly wins over pretty losses. True. I don't know if I'd say Schneider's had many good games. I don't know if I'd agree with that. I have not liked Schneider's play this season. Tarasenko at the deadline, maybe. Maybe. Although he's been a little bit cold lately. So there's a possibility that reunion happens. And I jokingly said it too when he signed in Ottawa. That's like, oh yeah, he'll be back at the deadline. It's very possible, honestly. It's very possible, especially because I don't think Ottawa's making the playoffs. Why are we talking deadline now? It's just brought up in chat. That's the only reason I'm talking about it. Oh yeah, Luke. I'm telling you, it's killing me how much I've been sick. I was literally talking about before. 2 weeks. I spent 2 weeks being healthy, 2 to 3 weeks being healthy. Then I spent like a week and a half to 2 weeks being sick, and it's been this way for like 3 months now. Because you guys, I got sick during that game against Carolina when the Rangers played Carolina. I got sick. I started feeling sick in the middle of that game. Got sick. Had a fever, and then I literally was fine for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and now I'm back on the shelf. And then I got sick at some point in October too. I'm having no luck. It's fun. I'm good with them moving on too, Steven. Whatever happens, happens. They continue to win without a few key players still out. Yeah, I'm curious to see what it's going to look like when Hedel comes back, especially for a guy who usually has been scoring goals a lot. Not a lot, but like that's a guy that you usually pencil in for 20 goals. I had the hot take that he was scoring 30 this year. I thought he was going to score 30, but I penciled him in for at least 20, and it's like to add that in your lineup would help. But I don't know. I'm gonna wrap this up though here. Like I said, I'm sorry for keeping it very short tonight. I'm not feeling the best at all. I promise if I'm feeling better for the Nashville game though, to give you guys a good live stream for that one. And I'm annoyed about this too. Very annoyed. But don't forget to leave a like if you have not already on the stream on your way out. I really would appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I do appreciate that as well. Subscribe if you guys have not already. Turn on your notifications too if you haven't. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Let's go Rangers.